Hey, Bri, doesn't it suck that the boss is always over our shoulder when we're trying to talk?
Jay, he should be entertained by us. Let's get out of here and finish this conversation.
All right, as long as it's not work related.
Jay,
B.
how's it going?
I am the best I can be right now.
I want to welcome everyone to the Work-Related Podcast.
Actually, I want to addend that comment. That could be better. But we are related by work on Twitter.
Yep. There's
There's only one way I could have been better.
How?
It not being dry Feb.
Dry Feb?
I don't want to cut you off. And you said you know how you wanted to start. But I held it back all last week.
Yep.
This motherfucker's... see, I was about to blame you for something I'm doing.
Oh,
and it's not.
Because it's your Dry Feb.
Fuck you. I'll be drinking a lot when I go home today. It's one of my favorite weekends of the year. I got a long weekend, and I'm even off of my little taking care of myself bandwagon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't even know. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to jump in how you want to get going.
Let's go. You could never do Dry Feb because of the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, February would not be the one of the days or months that I would try to do it.
Unless it was January.
But even then, I love football.
No,
like
unless
football.
the Super Bowl was January.
Yes, unless it's, like I said, I'm finding reasons to not do it. Like I listened to Rogan for years, and they've been doing Sober October for a long time.
Oh, really?
You've never heard of that?
No.
Oh, because he's not in your band or on your algorithm.
Yeah.
And so I don't know how many years they started it, but him and a couple other comics did like Sober October. And in my circles, like online, like on my internet circles, it became a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard Sober October a lot. You've never heard those two words put together?
No.
So I'm like, that's where my birthday is in October. Plus there's football.
Oh, you definitely can't do
so
that.
I'm not doing it. So I would like wonder what months would I do it? And you might not remember, well, you might be on my talking that when I very first, I hate like the idea of having to do it on New Year's. Like it's so cliche,
Yeah.
right? And this and that. I did it this year though. That fuck it. Like, that's another excuse, right? Like it's a new beginning. But when I very, very first did it, because I thought of, I'm going to go back and not everybody, but I've said this story before. When I found out how fat I was getting big pants in October of fucking 8 years ago, whatever it was, I didn't start taking care of myself till March because I let football go. I let February. I had the idea of wanting to be better, like linger in my head for months and months. So I started March. So March would have been the year or the month that I could probably sober it up.
Yeah. Including weed?
No. Well, why weed?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not. I guess these challenges could go crazy. I've never challenged myself like that. Like I don't want to fail.
I
don't want to fail, but I don't want to set myself up for failure.
You could do it. You don't think you could stop smoking and drinking for 30 days?
Of course I could as a human, but I don't want to live like that.
How do you know if you haven't done it?
Yeah, exactly. I just assume that I don't want. Well, I don't have to assume that I don't want to.
You know what's weird? I was talking to Alvin. Remember when you told me about how that I don't know if we were talking on the show and I was talking about Dry February. No, so it wasn't the show. We were talking about Dry February, and then you said sometimes people do it and then they just end up doing it for longer or something.
Yeah,
like
I'm
that,
assuming you're going past February.
Yeah, you think so?
I assume. Anyway, sorry.
So I was telling that to Alvin, and I was saying like that's how it was. I was telling him that conversation, and I was saying and I was telling him Dry February, and I said that's how it was when I quit smoking. Like when I first started to quit smoking, I was like, all right, whatever. I'm just gonna do it. Just stop smoking, and I stopped smoking, and then it just became like I just never wanted to do it after a while. I just never wanted to smoke weed anymore.
So I know we talked about this off air because I've thought about it a couple of times since that I want to meet the guy. I want to meet the Brian that that you and Brenton would smoke a blunt each and pass a spliff to each other.
Oh,
where's that guy?
I don't know.
Like I miss that guy. I know I've never met that guy, but I miss that guy.
He's a good guy.
I don't know. Maybe not. You didn't like him. You got rid of him.
Yeah,
you ditched him.
Yeah, just true. That's
so true. Okay. So for me, I used to smoke cigarettes. I smoked cigarettes from like 18 to or maybe no, probably 18. Who am I kidding? Like 15 to 25. 25 is kind of young to quit smoking. If you know what I mean? Like nobody realizes the health, or they realize it.
Or
whatever.
They don't care.
That's right. There's a better way to look at it. And plus, I was a lifelong. I was in the middle of not taking care of myself at all for other things. But smoking was one of the things like that got so apparent. Like I couldn't breathe better, dirty smoking, and all that. And I've told you, I might have told the story on before here. Like I didn't tell anybody for 2 weeks that I'd quit.
Yeah.
I lived with Sammy's family at the time. We had like fucking like his brothers. We all had like I had a room in the basement, and everybody smoking joints, smoking cigarettes. And I kept my pack, and somebody kept asking me for a cigarette every now and then. I'd give them one until somebody knows, hey, you don't smoke anymore, do you? Right? And I told you this story too. I was like, I remember one buddy who I felt was a little bit weakish. He was always bragging he was quitting, and he'd always go back, and he quit.
Yeah.
I said, this fucking guy thinks he can quit. I'll fucking show you how to quit, right? And so I quit, but I smoked weed. Every time I wanted to smoke a cigarette, I smoked weed, but I quit cigarettes and never went back since 25.
That's crazy.
Right? So you can do it, but I always need a bargaining chip.
Yeah.
Right? Like my bargaining chip is always that, even when I take care of myself. So the idea of dry February seems so long.
It's only 28 days.
I can barely get over 4 days. I can go from Monday to Thursday.
Yeah.
And then like I need Friday.
Yeah.
And then if I'm better, like, you know what, bro, you don't have to drink 8 beers on Friday. If I allow myself to, I can. But if I go, so what happens for me when I take, it's like, oh yeah, beer.
Yeah.
And then a couple months of doing that, you're like, you know, maybe I can just get away with 4 because I got all this momentum during the week, and now I just don't want to kill all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like your idea of dry February, you love the challenge. You want to beat something like a video game.
Yeah. Yeah. For
And
sure.
I don't play video games like that. Well, I don't see it like that.
Yeah. I mean,
You know the difference between you and Daryl.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody knows Daryl, but your buddy is like on a big fucking PX90 type of challenge, or whatever, right?
God.
It's worse than that. Like, I don't even want to. Is it worse than that or better than that? How would you categorize?
I don't know. It's worse, I would say. It's worse.
It's like he's cutting everything off, all his pleasure centers.
Yeah.
And for, like, in my mind, for no
75
reason.
days.
For no reason. Making himself work out in the cold. Making himself not
Right?
drink or smoke.
Right?
And he already eats very well. He's, you know what I mean? Like, he's like a responsible father. He does all these things. He works hard.
Mhm.
But like he adds this, like jokingly, I don't want to, like, I don't know what I'm talking about, but it seems like he's running away from some demons in his head.
He might be. I think he's just looking for ways to be better.
And that's
I don't know.
admirable. And so are you. So what you're doing is admirable. So I don't want to diss you. I'm not drinking now
Yeah.
because I find it a dick move to, in a way, put it in front of your face.
No. Absolutely not.
Well, I know it's not the worst thing.
It's not even close. It's a dick move that you don't do it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to make you think it's your fault for me not doing
It is my
it.
fault.
It's
Because you said, because you're doing dry February, I'm not going to drink in front of you.
yeah. So I want to encourage your good behavior. Like, I don't want to flaunt it. Wouldn't be flaunting it.
It
But
wouldn't
would you be
matter,
looking
though.
at me knowing we have a beer in there? Just like I know, like, already, I don't know that you don't care that I vaped. You didn't miss me vaping. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't picture
even
you.
notice.
I didn't picture you over there fucking vaping. And that's what I'm saying. Once this goes to March, like, I'm going back to the way, like,
Good.
I don't, I don't come here just to drink.
I know.
But it's part of the whole what makes conversation, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm
Yeah,
not saying you
yeah.
need it, but it's like, I don't know,
I mean,
it was part of the whole experience that I really enjoyed.
we
It
created
makes me feel
that
better.
experience because we had this experience before the alcohol.
You
Right?
said that because we did it at work.
Yeah. So now we created this experience with alcohol, which obviously I'm going to go back to drinking. There's no way I'm not. But it's just like, I don't mind if you drink.
So I
don't-
get that.
I don't mind that. And it doesn't bother me in one way. When I quit smoking, I didn't care that my cousins kept smoking around me. I didn't care. They weren't going to stop.
Yeah.
And they would be like, I remember my one cousin, we would always go when he lived in Brampton, we would always go to his house and he would always go to his friend's house, and his friend's parents always allowed us to smoke in the garage and stuff, right? They didn't care. This is like, how old was I? This was like when I was in like high school-ish, right? Like grade 12 and yeah. So when we would go to his house, they'd be like, oh, like when I first quit, they would go to his house and he'd be like, oh, they'd pass me the thing and I'd be like, nah. And they'd be like, oh, okay. They're not going to pressure you or anything like that. Just like whatever, more for me type of a thing. So they kept going. And then after I kept, like, anytime I hung out with my cousin, they were smoking. They'd be like, they would go to pass me. He'd be like, nah, he doesn't smoke. And so it just ended up being like that. I didn't care. It didn't bother me in any way. So unless you were going to pressure me, I'm still going to say no. Then that just would get eventually annoying. But other than that, I don't care. I can be around it.
I know that. I don't care.
That's why you have to drink.
I know that you're not drinking like to, like, not just for the challenge. You know what I mean? Like, just to fucking
Here's part of it.
be better.
Challenge myself.
Yeah, I hear that. So I feel the same way. It's like if I told you that I'm staying away from chips. I don't eat chips like until the weekend a little bit and all that. And if you were purpose. Like I couldn't say to you, hey, don't eat those chips. I
Yeah.
know it's on me to not care that you're eating the chips. You go downstairs, you have, you know what I mean, like grab a handful of chips. It's like I have them or I don't. And so you just have that privilege to have it. But if I'm saying like, hey, like I know you're not saying this, but I'm saying like it's a. See, I'm assuming if I say to you, hey, it's a dick move. Or no, I'm really struggling, bro. Like every time I
Then
see
that's
you,
different.
and like fucking, and you're like, it's on you, man. I'm fucking eating.
Yeah, that's a dick
No.
move.
So there's a feeling of me doing that to you in my own head
Mhm.
because I'm assuming that you want to still drink and do the podcast. Like I'm assuming that it's fun to have the shots before.
Mhm.
I'm not saying we need it, and it's
It
a
is
chat,
fun.
but it's like I love tequila way more now because of it.
Yeah.
Right, and I just like enjoy the. You wouldn't even notice because we're bringing it up now but people listening, they probably don't know the difference of us talking sober or talking like
Yeah.
it's because we're not drunk, but I don't know. It's just like it loses a little bit more inhibition,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Like
for
it's
sure.
just I like that feeling of being buzzed, and I like it's something to share,
Yeah.
right? And it was enjoyable, so it was just like it did become part of the experience, and so yeah, it's not professional. You know what I mean? Like none of this was supposed to be professional,
Yeah.
right? Like it was, but maybe it's more thoughtful for the people you're asking to listen to.
Maybe, but
I
mean,
don't. I think
I think it's a little more fun.
but that's why you said it started at work. The whole point, even in the intro, was like, okay, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
And how do we make this better? We leave work.
Yeah.
And then what do? You just sit at the bar, or you say, you know what I mean? Like you have a fucking a beer and a shot, and it just whatever. I think it added to it. So I've had it part of that. If you're not, I feel like I'm a loser's not the right way, but I feel like I'm a loser if I need to have to drink in front of you and you're not drinking. I'm drinking alone. Like I go home and drink alone. Tammy doesn't drink, but now she has a shot. You know, I've got her in there
So then what's the difference?
because I never did that before.
It's not like you're like hammering them back. It's like you'll have two or
No,
three
no,
beers.
but
That's
you-
normal.
When you first gave me the shot, when we came over this, come on, have a shot. I said, whoa, tequila shot. Yeah, come on. Now, this is what we do.
Yeah.
Like, if I ever said no, you would have been like, come on. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't have. If I had
would
my
still take
reasons,
the shot.
If you had no, I get it. That's fine. I would too. I'm without you needing me to do this for you. I'm just like want to help you along.
I appreciate.
You know what I
it.
mean? Like it's not. I know you don't need it. This is the thing. You don't appear to need it. You would rather me not go to that length. You want to
Yeah.
show that you don't need that,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm disrespecting your challenge.
Yeah,
By
Jay.
yeah. So I don't care though.
Such a
It
dick
makes me
move.
feel better.
Okay.
It makes
that's
me feel
fine.
better.
In that way, fine. But don't do it because you think I'll struggle with it. I'm perfectly fine.
I know you're not. I was joking even with Selena downstairs, and which is like she mentioned like a old Christmas party or at work, and she mentioned liquor carton.
Yeah.
I just pretended like I saw a little gleam in her eye when she says liquor, right? Because I know she's doing it for health reasons,
Yeah.
not because she wants to be a better person,
Yeah.
right? Because she's like, God, this is what I have to do to be a person. That's why I can't eat chips. I got to be a person,
Yeah.
right? It's not just
Yeah.
because like a drunk person or a buzzed person,
Yeah.
but it was like so much more fun. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's whatever. So I'm
Think
harping
about
on
how
more.
great it's gonna be when we come back to our shots.
But that's the funny thing, right? But I
Yeah.
do have a feeling you're the type of person, just like you quit smoking and you do that. Like I could see a less drinking version of you after this.
Yeah, I think that's probably gonna happen. Probably
Just the
not
way
gonna
you are.
drink as much, and like this whole not drinking, like the way I changed how I eat and everything these past few months, it changed like my entire lifestyle.
So we've only kind of really hinted on it. So you've been on a binge. You've been on a healthcare binge. So when did you start to
It was
change
like
your eating habits?
November? Was it like November?
Yeah, it was before Christmas, right?
Yeah.
And I've kind of always been confused of your goals, like how you went from like cutting stuff out, like
Yeah.
you wanted to lose weight. You're always
Yeah.
like so fucking fat,
When I hit that 200.
and so that's what it was, right?
Remember the last time?
I remember. I have a hint of it.
I
Remember
was
you
eating
saying something?
salads every freaking day.
Oh, that's right. And then so that's when you went to intermittent fasting in November,
Yeah.
and you just changed. So what did you do? Did you weigh your food then? Like, did you make a drastic change?
Yep.
Like, kind of this? Like, you didn't cut out alcohol then?
No, not then. I weighed my food. I logged all my food so I can see all my food logged for like what I've been eating since like the past few months.
Yeah.
We've been not eating out at all, right? The drinking thing, right? So like it's changed like so much stuff. I've been eating healthier, trying to eat more whole foods and not processed foods. and just stuff like that. And it's just been kind of crazy that, because anytime I used to hear people say like a weight loss journey or a fitness journey is like a lifestyle change, this is the actually probably my first time feeling like it's like a lifestyle change. Before it was just a diet or you're just doing this to do this. I feel like I've literally changed my whole lifestyle.
I agree. That's 100% what it sounds like to me.
It's weird.
Well, because you have to now, because you realize you can't get rid of that belly fat anymore.
Not like it used to be.
Right? Like I try not to be the old dick that's just fucking always like, oh man, it's so hard when you're old. And it's like, because there's examples of people that have, they don't care and they can do it. Like it's not like that for them. But like, it's interesting because it goes from being a fad diet, like a dry Feb or a sober October, to having to be a lifestyle. I do think those things are great kickstarters to get. That's why I can either you're going to just keep quitting drinking or whatever, you're going to just change it in a certain way, like you did with the smoking, right? Like you quit smoking before there was edibles around. You just didn't enjoy it anymore because you can still drink. Now you don't drink because you know what, I can still have edibles. Right. So you're still like, you don't hate getting buzzed. I mean, that's probably when the podcast ends. If you fucking all of a sden get a hate on for getting buzzed, then I don't know who you are,
you know
right?
What you're doing to your body, Jay?
No,
marijuana
Jesus.
And alcohol.
Cut. You know what I mean? I've already got you to stop preaching about Jesus. You never had to do that to me. There's two things, right? Like that I can even handle more than fucking a dry fucking sober Brian.
Oh man.
But I kid. You see it. So did you start it as a fad thing? Like, was the whole thing just to not be 200 pounds? Was it like just to stop being fat, or was it always did you right away like add like protein to build muscles at the same time? Because you upped your workout like as you went, like, or did you start banging it out in November too?
Yeah, the workout and the eating all started at the same time.
So was there multiple goals? Like, was it always to bulk up and lose weight and fat?
I don't want to be bigger. I just want to be like, a little more fit. I don't want to be like huge. I don't really even want to gain. I kind of want to be where I am. Just maybe be a little stronger, maybe look better or something. You know what I mean? I think that's really where I'm trying to be. I don't want to walk around like this though.
No, I hear you. Well, I mean, I don't know. I think that's another problem. Like, I'm assuming that you get addicted to that feeling. Like I get addicted to things like the stairs aren't as hard as anymore, or even like weirder things. The fucking the wind's howling, the big heavy door at work, and you just fucking fling it open. And it's like, man, a couple of weeks ago that thing was hard to open, right? Like I love noticing little like things like that,
like everyday life things.
And so that's what I've always looked at, like lifestyle change. Like I hate these extreme maneuvers. I guess it's just how you look at it because the same thing for me. Like I saw myself declining. I even talked however many episodes ago, like when I was on my long-time weight loss journey, like I had to my wedding ring was slipping off and I had to get a new cheaper wedding ring, and I just kept my other one in the room, and fucking it was great. It was I was already proud of myself. I was weighing myself every week, and I saw my journey and changed shapes of like myself and the clothes. Like it was really cool. I was like, holy shit, like this is how much weight your finger has lost weight, right? And so it takes so long. So that was years ago, and then it took so many. Like I didn't drastically change from that, but like 4 years later, and I fucking use reasons to not take care of myself anymore. I declined so much that holy shit, this new ring is starting to feel real tight.
You gonna get a new ring?
And I got it off. No, I had to put my old wedding ring back on.
Oh,
like this was months ago. Like this was probably in November, probably when you were starting to take care of yourself, like or maybe even October or whatever, right? Like just. Whatever knocked me off of my course, and I didn't really care about it. Like I got so bad, and I saw it on the scale too, and I was just like, fight it. Like I didn't really care as much. I was just writing the numbers down. Like I get to write the numbers down. It's not I wasn't taking responsibility for making it better, right? Like I was in a funk. I used my whatever depression mode. I don't know. It's long.
Yeah, you had shit.
Go back in the episodes. I explain it all each week. And so when I put the wedding ring back on, I felt a certain way. I was like, God, like what's gonna happen? You know what I mean? Like fucking. And so you never want to buy a bigger set of pants. You never like, this is how I look at it. I'm assuming you never even had to look at your belly fat in a way like this or whatever, but.
Which is there, right, Jay?
Yes, you're fucking huge.
Thank you.
And,
wait, that was sarcasm?
And, no, thanks for showing me in the book. Sorry, insight. And so so when it came time around this time to do it again, like I've like don't want to slip away like that. Like I recognize, I see other things and just like, okay, do it. But it was cold when like Christmas coming, all these things leading up. I go, fuck, okay, New Year's, just like everybody else, hop on the bandwagon. Say, oh, it's so cliche, but you know what? Do it. So since New Year's, we haven't eaten out.
Nice.
We haven't fucking like maybe the week after or whatever. We've cut down all the kind of things. I've built up my exercise routine again. I've started. So I've changed what I bring to work to eat. I intermittent fast now. I don't eat till so you were part of this inspiration for me. I have to hear you talk about it all. Like it's not like you hammered me with it, but when listening to you talk about it, and seeing the results and how good you felt about yourself for doing what you said you were going to do.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like fucking. There's an example right in front of my face of a way to go. Not just the intermittent fasting thing, but it's just like, okay, I can do this. I don't mind. I can go a long time without eating. I can maybe that could help me kickstart a new way to do it. Because I had a mentality before, like I have a break at work, I got to eat something.
Yeah.
And even if it was good, kale wraps and all that, I would have 3 of them.
Yeah.
It was unnecessary, just unnecessary shoving anything into my face. Right? Like, let's get that habit out of the way.
Yeah.
And even if I thought it was good, so it's like, you know what? See if you can go to 12 without eating yet.
Which is your lunch, right?
Yeah, which is my lunch. I get up at fucking 6. I start work at 7, and then we have a break at 9:30. And so I would have like a sandwich or a wrap then with half my coffee, and then just read fucking Twitter or whatever, and go back to work. Wait to 12, have another coffee, have another wrap, maybe a fucking apple, right? Because I'm not I didn't bring a lot of fruit and all that shit. And then have another break at 2:30 and have another wrap, right? And then just go home and eat just still good chicken and potatoes or whatever. And that got me down. That did really good. But I got stuck in that rut and I hated it. I just didn't like that food anymore. And it's just like, I'm not saying that was the cause of it, but say, let's see if I can make myself eat in an 8-hour window, right? And not that I can eat anything I want in that 8-hour window, but if you get to a good spot, then you can eat whatever you want in that 8-hour window.
Yeah.
Not eat before you go to bed. That's another really big thing that I have. So I stopped doing shit like that even on the weekends. And so now
what is your routine like now?
So now I eat a chicken sandwich at lunch with a banana. Like I eat so much more fruit. Like I eat nothing. I just drink a coffee. So I drink nothing but water and coffee till 12.
Nice.
And then I have one little sandwich on sourdough bread. It's fucking lettuce and cucumber and roasted chicken, like from the grocery store type of thing. With banana, I haven't eaten bananas for so long, right? Like I'm really particular. They got to be cold and really close to not right.
Do you put them in the fridge or you have the cooler in your
I have a
bag?
cooler in my thing, but it fucks up. So I'm going to start putting them in the fridge. That's a whole. Don't get me going on how I like my bananas. And then I bring a little fruit cocktail. Okay, so no, I have that at lunch, like a little bit of fruit from the fruit cocktail, banana and sandwich, and some more coffee. 2:30, I have a couple of clementine oranges and some more fruit. And then I come home, usually about 6:30. I work out, just doing body weight push-ups and leg lifts, and sometimes on the bike for about 45 minutes. When I do that 45 minutes, I'm slow. Don't worry. I'm not. It's not like I'm
That's
fucking.
still a long time.
Yeah, it takes me a long time after working for fucking 11 and a half hours.
Yeah.
And then in that process, Tammy makes the salads for our dinner. I have a salad with just like a little light and tower dressing, and usually almost just to make it simple and better, just roasted chicken and baked potatoes.
Yeah.
And I just do the potatoes in the middle of my workout. I'll do workout for like 10 minutes, 12 minutes, and fucking prepare the potatoes a little bit, go back 10 minutes later, prepare the potatoes a little bit more, and then finish my workout, go in the shower. So I eat about 8 o'clock. Like that window, I start for 12 and I have dinner usually finished by about 8:15. And then I got like an hour and a half to watch TV.
And you don't eat. That's the end of your
That's the
eating.
end I eat. That's it. And then, so I do that Monday to Thursday. Sometimes Thursday, because it's Friday light. Thursday, no matter what. Yeah, Thursday, I will have a beer after dinner.
Yeah.
Usually because it's still a bit late, I might end up only having 2, right? Like, because I'll allow myself in my head to have 4 or 5, but because I've been so good for a couple months now, or a month and a half now. See, I'm adding time to it. So if I've been good for 4 weeks now, then I'll be like, you know what? 2 is good.
Yeah.
2 and a shot.
Yeah.
Remember shots? Yeah.
Yeah,
So 2 and a
what's
shot.
that?
Yeah, and so that's what I have like for Thursday. Then Friday, I'll wake up. Now, when I'd come here, this is more information, people. I would try to wait as long as possible. I won't eat till like 4 o'clock, and then I'll eat fucking pretty bad. I won't eat it takeout, but I'll have like we'll try to keep it simple. We'll air fryer food, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
grilled cheese sandwich
Yeah.
with some air fried onion rings. Like not the greatest, but you know what I mean? It's not takeout onion rings.
Exactly.
Right? And
it's
like
not deep fried in a freaking vat of oil.
yeah, no. So we've done any of that. This weekend it's a Super Bowl weekend. So yesterday I fucking binged. I had Harvey's for the first time.
Yeah, how
like
was that?
It's so good. See, I feel like a dick. It's a dick move telling you how good Harvey's is.
We have our cheat days too.
Yeah.
We will eat out. We're gonna eat out once a week now.
After how long not eating out?
I haven't eaten out I think Selena ate out. She got a salad from Wendy's.
That doesn't
last
count.
week,
That's gross.
but I haven't eaten out, in a couple weeks. Yeah,
That's it? Oh, I thought you were going to say more.
like we had Subway,
Mm,
so that was the last time I ate out.
so I knew this. So I was proud of myself for getting to this point. So what I also haven't done when I was taking care of myself is weighing. Like you're the total opposite of me in many ways. But like your journaling of your journey.
Yeah,
Like I would Tammy weighs herself every day and records it. I weighed myself every week and recorded it.
Mhm.
And once my Fitbit broke, like I haven't weighed myself for like maybe like 6-7 months because I just started the journey. I don't care. The number is going to sadden me.
yeah.
Right? Like I've already sad about the ring. Like this is what I'm saying, like the ring and clothes. Like I can't wear a shirt because I don't like the way it fits anymore.
Mhm.
I gotta go back to your big boy clothes. You know what I mean? Like, and so I know what makes me feel better is the number too. And I'm not, I guess I don't know, am I like skirting some responsibility?
Yeah,
Yeah, a little bit, eh?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'm not making myself go to that number. I know what numbers I like, but I also know, so I like the way my pants are feeling just a little bit looser,
Mhm.
right? I'm not noticing the ring feel. I'm just like, you know what? What if I just go until this ring feels too loose anymore?
And then you're gonna weigh yourself.
No, because that's ridiculous.
You
That's
should
going to
just
take
do it
too
now.
long.
You should just do it now.
I could, yeah. You're right.
You have a smart scale, right?
No, but go ahead.
So we have a withing scale, right? And it's hilarious because a lot of people suffer from not wanting to see the number.
That's
so
true.
It has this setting thing called I forget what it's actually called. But it's like it basically doesn't allow you to see your weight when you step on the scale. So it'll show a happy face or it'll show like I don't know if it's like fully sad, but it depends on if your trend is going up. He'll be more sad if you're going up. If that's your
Don't
goal.
gender my scale.
If that's your right, if that's your goal to lose weight, he'll be like, oh, or it will be like
They.
sad. So when you step on the scale, because it doesn't know if it's me or Selena, so we have it set up to do this no look thing. So when I step on the scale, it'll start covering its eyes and like shit, and then it'll show me my weight. But if she steps on the scale, it won't show hers. But if she goes into the app and look, then you'll see it. But on the scale, it shows your trend and everything. And so I'm just like, obviously, this is like a problem because they purposely made a
that's right.
setting
That's true.
and they tried to make it friendly with a smiley face and whatnot. And like, he won't show you your weight. But I mean, yeah, at least it's like a big deal. But I say, fuck it. I say, just go to it. There's a crazy story. Selena, she's always afraid to look at the number, right? So they used to go to the library a lot. And they couldn't find this library book for like so long. So they haven't been back to the library because Selena's like, oh my God, like I don't want to pay all this money of the fees, like the fines that I'm getting, these late fees and stuff. So like I haven't looked at the thing for months. She hasn't looked at how much she owed because she doesn't want to go in and the kids asked to go to the library and she's like, no, we'll go later, but she doesn't want to face that whole thing. So we were in the car. This was like this week. I think it was like yesterday, the day before. We were in the car and she's like, fine, I'm just going to look at it. I'm like, yeah, like, why don't you look at it? Freaking $3. I'm like, you're sitting there not wanting to go to the library for $3. All you had to do was look months ago and maybe it would have been $1.50 then. Okay. You know what I mean? And like you psyched yourself out and stopped going to the library basically since summer, Jay. And you just, for no reason at all.
I'm not trying to find or I'm not. I don't know why I'm saying it like this. I realize my part of the journey is I gotta just concentrate on starting. Like I still recognize this as a start.
Yeah.
Right? Like I don't find the number will go to help me right now because I know I'm going to do my Super Bowl weekend here.
Oh yeah.
Like when I first started, like way back when because March 5th was the Monday, like in fucking like 2015 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
When I fucking started or six, whatever it was, when I started doing it. And it's a date that's stuck in my head because I'm proud I started. Right. And it was when I did it. So that is my, like, in my mind, I think I'm going to start weighing myself then.
Mhm.
Like I might do it before because I wouldn't have even started doing what I've been doing since January, using the excuse it's only January,
Yeah.
right? Like just ease yourself into this. You got the winter blues, you gotta have that. But because I get to do it with Tammy, we both got the same goals and I've done it before and it's like, no, that's bullshit. Right? It's bullshit not looking at the fucking, all of it's bullshit.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to, like an onion, peel the layers
Slowly
of bullshit
peel the
slowly
layers.
because I can't, I'm not an all or nothing guy. I
Yeah.
can't, like you're saying, like go the whole month. I'm strong enough to admit that I'm weak enough that I can't go till Friday,
Mhm.
right? Like I need that my carrot has to be a lot closer to my face, like, cause that's who I feel I am, right?
Yeah.
I'm selling myself short as a human for what we can do or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Obviously, you can do more than
but
that.
I just realized that's like how I find success in it. So I'm like, okay, look at you not going to the fucking eating out like all weekend, and so when it comes to the weekend, you're asking me to eat my eating habits. We still don't do anything, but I try not to start eating till like 4,
Yeah.
right? Because I know I'm going to eat some more
That's doing
bullshit.
something.
Yes, exactly. And I
Yeah.
don't eat upstairs. Like we watched we go upstairs to watch TV before we like go to sleep afterwards. And I would have a snack there, watching a fucking movie or the challenge. Like last night, we watched the fucking challenge upstairs for an hour and a half, and I was like, I would eat a whole bag of fucking chips in that time, maybe even
Holy.
2 beers because I got the most buzz on, and then
Yeah.
go to sleep like real shit. And I paid the price for it for a
Yeah.
long time. So that's still in me.
Yeah.
Like I can be proud all I want and see all the results and buy the fucking smaller shirts and everything like that all I want. But my fucking head watches TV and sits on that couch and just like, where's her chips? No, we don't do that anymore. You're a pussy. Fuck you.
No, you're the pussy.
No, yeah, you go back and forth and you whatever,
Yeah.
and then you go, no, your mom's sick. Have those chips. Fuck, goddamn, she is. Yeah, fuck, I want those. Yeah, I don't know, right? Like it's just how.
there are Dorito nachos, so maybe. I
So
just-
you go there. Like I went 3 years without touching a real chip. Like you put yourself like that's how I know if I can go into a mindset like that, you're going to go into a mindset. Well, this alcohol really is poison, and I have not gone this long with it. And
Mhm.
look at me, like I actually lost a fucking cunt hair of fucking belly fat. The only way I get a little bit more is fucking like going a whole another month. You know, like
That's true.
you'll trick yourself into
is
that
true.
feeling.
That is true.
And I don't want to say trick, like you'll never do it. So in my mind, by not drinking, like I said, it's a low drinking low. It's like, but I'm only going to a certain point. Like I'm just going to be like fucking yeah. No, I'm bringing like I'm going back to what I want to do.
Yeah.
I don't know, but then I can't see if it's like a point where like I do like 10 episodes. Right, and you still haven't drank, and I'm here fucking with a flask of fucking tequila.
That's
and-
okay.
No, I get it. I'm not for you. Like, can you recognize
No,
that
for
I would
you.
feel a certain way?
That's okay, but
no,
that-
but you know what I mean? It's like, why am I doing this? Like, what the fuck?
because you like alcohol and I like alcohol. Maybe I'm living vicariously through you, and you're depriving me of that.
yeah, I would. Then that's a reason not to do it. Fuck you. Just drink. The other thing I would have been doing would be like, I said, go back to you in the fucking double joint smoke. It's like, fuck, maybe I just go out to the backyard and make them smoke fucking before we do an episode.
smoke?
Would you ever smoke again?
I don't think so.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know.
Why
I don't
do you
think
hate
I
it so
will.
much like that now?
I think I'm just jaded because
Jaded.
because like back in the day when I was smoking, you're just smoking like okay, so when I find the type of weed that I like to do, right? And so
you sound like such a fucking
right, I
noob
find the type of weed. So it's like
that I like to do.
did I want to do sativa? Did I want to do dro? Back in the day, it was always hydro and dro. Everybody wanted dro. Everybody wanted dank. That's what we used to get
Yep.
all the time. Didn't fucking matter.
I know.
Whatever smelled the worst is the one that we want to get. The closest to a skunk smell we can get, and that's what we were doing. And part of the reason I quit is just because it just made me overthink to where the point I didn't like it.
The weed made your brain overthink.
Yes.
Not like the choice of weed you could get. Just your mind raced.
Yeah, for that, yeah. But so I remember, yeah, like how overthinkers are?
Yeah.
Well, you're a slightly overthinker.
Oh yeah, I know what you're
Because-
trying to say.
So that's how I really got when I smoked weed, like to the point where it's just like unreasonable. And then when I would sober up, I'd just be like, what the fuck? Like none of what I was thinking made any sense. Like you had no proof for half that shit. And like you were there tripping yourself out. A lot of times it would ruin my high. So at that point
Okay.
there was no point. So then I remember one time we had this Jamaican guy gave us like, it was is a sativa, but it's cess, right?
Yeah.
And I was smoking that. I was like, I love this. I was like, this is the type of weed I want. But you
Interesting.
can't. Back when you're going to the
Interesting. I
alleyway,
understand.
when you're going to the alleyway, you don't have your choice. It's what the guy has at the moment. Is this good? This one's all right. Is this good? Oh no, this week I best strain, whatever. And so now we got to the point where we have choices because we have stores, we have all companies getting involved. So now I got to the point where I pinpoint exactly what I want and I get the high that I want. It doesn't get ruined. I don't overthink to the moon and stuff, and I'm perfectly fine. So I'm sure, obviously, I could find weed and smoke the exact same weed that wouldn't be hard. Probably easier now. But at this point, it just doesn't seem like it makes any sense.
Was it ever the smoking that you didn't like?
I just think
like,
I just got tied to it.
No, because you never smoked. Like you smoked cigarettes too as a kid.
No, I never smoked cigarettes.
So it was never like smoking's bad for your health, so I don't want to do it.
No,
I'm curious.
No way.
But it seems to me, yeah, because weed's not for everybody.
Yeah,
like it's actually good that you can find the buzz that you want with edibles without smoking.
Yeah,
right. Like the older I get, like I might end up this one day only being fucking edibles.
Yeah.
Like what if I'm stuck, you know what I mean? Like in a retirement home and do like, as you see some people out there like still kicking it, not with joints, but having a smoke, go, wonder if they ever get to go out and smoke a joint if they ever wanted to. But bringing grandma gummies,
they'd never know.
It wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
It's fucking they'd encourage it because like fucking they would be happier to be around.
That's true.
Like if you by then you get to there and you know what your dose is, he's like, yeah, get me the THCV because I don't want to eat too many fucking bonbons, right? Or whatever, right? So you've nailed it.
And
like,
bring me the bonbons.
Don't forget the bonbons. See, that's a perfect world you fucking live in or whatever, right? Like I don't want to encourage you to smoke just to watch you. Well, that's the thing. I wouldn't do it to put you in that state. Like it'd be fun. So it sounds to me like you're like one of these people that are like me. It's not that my tolerance for drinking. Like you just say it intolerance. Oh, that person's drank too much and look at they're talking nonsense, or they're throwing up, or fucking they're passed out, or whatever. You don't recognize that. That's funny to you. That's just amusing to you, or you're just observing other people get affected like that.
Yeah.
So the idea of talking to somebody on 4 shots is like, yeah, I feel like I'm talking normal. You're probably not, but you're not scared of, or you're not worried about the person you are like on that.
Yeah.
You're worried about what you are on one joint.
Yeah.
Right? Like you turn into the person that can't have 3 shots like you can.
Yes, exactly.
And I'm not saying like I have the 3 joints and I'm like probably part of me is the person that you don't want to be. Not to me to talk to him, but just like, oh yeah. But you could be like Brenton, that's when he gets more conspiracy theories once he smokes, right? Yep. And then it's like, fuck, and I don't want to talk to you anymore because I can tell you're on this fucking wavelength, bro. And it's your cousin, you could just hang up the phone. You know what I mean? Like you can just do whatever, right? You can humor him, you can do whatever you want with that. And just saying, yeah, that's why he's going on that angle. And if he brings it up when he's had like no joints or just like it's probably less annoying or less, you know what I mean? Like he's not in that state of mind. Mm-hmm. And he probably doesn't care about it. Right? Like it's like I understand it that way. I know it's not for everybody. I don't want to encourage you like that. I've never tried to get you to smoke.
No.
I've never even considered it. I don't even think like I don't look at it the same way when I'm vaping in front of you like that. It's just when you tell me the story of you, I'm like, oh God, you don't realize, who that like you try to recognize me with the hair down my back.
No way.
Right? Like it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So that's the evolving change. So I'm not looking at the scale because I'm peeling the onions because I want to like slowly curtail these things. I can't make when it comes to food and junk food, like I can't make that hard stop for that month. That sober October seems you
wouldn't be interested to try
I don't even admire it.
You wouldn't be interested.
No, I have zero interest to try. I'm not tying myself to you're more fucking likely to get me on an airplane and jump off of it than to do a sober month.
Okay. So you're not interested of what it would be like to be fully sober? Like after all the weed and all the alcohol has left your body for like a month, like what it would be like to be just completely sober. Is there a difference? Didn't you want to know the difference? I don't think I've got to that point yet.
You're close to it. Your edible fucking consumption, like you're stone cold sober. You've been stone cold sober since last Sunday night. And on that you're on 5 milligrams of fucking
but that's just tolerance, right?
What do you mean?
That's just tolerance. Like 5 milligrams probably hits me like how you would get hit with 5,000. You know what I mean? That's just
no. There's
that's
no way
just-
5 hits you fucking like
Oh
okay.
man, I get really high.
Okay, so
Like,
that's okay. So
really
that's
high.
So you
More
think
so
that
on 10 now. It used to be 5. Now 10 will do it for me.
yeah, I noticed the effects in the morning of being on edibles because I don't take edibles during the week.
Yeah.
So I know that my Monday mornings are really rough because of the amount of fucking edibles I have on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Selena wakes up high often too.
Tammy wakes up. We call it the morning dew. Right? She has the fucking morning dew on the weekend mornings for sure. And mine is more grogginess because I'm a glutton.
Mhm.
Mine's more the hangover-y feeling. Like it's because if I had 500, it's just like, yeah, there's more of an effector than you think. And like the effect is going to last until the morning after,
Mhm.
right? It's just like what you would feel after like drinking too much in the weed kind of version. I've never wanted to, I feel so negative about myself when I say it out loud.
You've never wanted to be
I've never wanted to
sober?
optimize myself like that. Like I've never wanted to read the best books to make my mind better. I've never wanted to eat the best foods. The only reason why I
Very
want to eat,
negative, Jay.
but have you? You do it partially, right? So I just
Yeah.
do it in way less waves. Like the only reason I want to eat better is because of the long-term consequence. Like the future self. The future self could also be yelling at me like, yeah, read those books.
Yeah.
Do this, that, whatever. I don't know what else it's going to tell me that I don't know. It's just obvious the food damage that I do.
Yeah, it is more obvious, but like still though, like you wouldn't want to know to be sober?
No. I don't
Hmm.
like why.
I don't know. I haven't got there yet. I don't think I've got there yet. I've been drinking for years and doing edibles for years. So I haven't got to where I feel like everything's out my body yet. And I don't even think I'm even going to notice, to be honest.
I could be wrong, but this like the only thing that I've ever like thought that of, and I started was sugar.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sugar's
like
a big one. Sugar's
it
a
took
big
me a
one.
long time to fucking recognize what sugar is
Mhm.
and how it's been manipulated. Like, and we need it and we can't have it. Sugar to me, and it's whatever, maybe because I was too high and thinking conspiracy type of ways. Sugar to me became the biggest, baddest enemy to the human body.
Yeah, that's a poisonous drug.
And so I went, so like you talk about like the processed foods and all that, like programming my mind to get that out has been nothing but beneficial.
Mhm.
Like you get sugar out of your body, you just start feeling it in all kinds of ways.
Oh yeah, that's why I feel great because I don't eat.
No, me
that
too.
much
I have
sugar
that.
at
So that's
all.
part of what I try to do, even like to the point where I didn't have bread for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and I have these wraps and I'm so sick of the wraps. You know what? I'll have some sourdough bread. Instead of like 3 sandwiches, you can have 1.
Yeah.
And so whatever sugar's in that, like
Yeah.
I would look at the negative sugar in that
Mhm.
and see what like gluten allergies and all that. Like it took me so long to program myself, to be educated on that. But it's overwhelming when you hear like somebody on a podcast talk about like a doctor or whatever, go this there, and then they go beyond that and they see how basic that is, and yeah, this, that, and the other. It's like fucking, it's so overwhelming to fucking find these right food choices
Yeah.
and these supplements and to take like to add that level of self-care. I don't know how more to say. It does sound bad. I have a tough time raising the level of self-care for myself, and I just like find not being depressed is like the main goal. Not that I walk around depressed, but you know, whatever. I fucking have too much of an emo teen in me still, and emo eat and all these other things. That it's that recognizing that not wanting to be on that path is goal number 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that turns you to fat. Okay, can you do that and not be fat as well? Okay, fine, do that. But make sure we're gonna have a beer later, right? Yeah. No, okay, good. Just living into that. It's way better when you earn the reward. Like having it at the end of the week, just cracking one on Monday nights. It's like, oh, I worked real hard, got Monday out of the way, I earned that.
Mhm.
Okay, that's a slippery slope. When you like, oh, it's only Monday. Yeah, but you earned it. Yeah, but that fucking first beer, like yesterday on Thursday, like, well, it's different. Like on the weekend, it's like, I feel the reward. You're going to feel that reward on March 1st or whenever you decide to do it again.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's good. You know what that feeling is. I'm not saying the feeling I have is equal to, but I get enough of that feeling.
Mhm.
Right? And I recognize it, but I don't recognize, you're right. I don't recognize it to a point where like, well, what if you never do it again? You're coming to it. That's why I know you're going to, that's eventually what somebody like you might do, is because you're like, yes, I do it for fun, but you know what? I've recognized this feeling I have for not doing it.
Yep.
And so I just don't want to go back. Jesselnick, one of my favorite comedians, he hasn't drank for over 2 years. And
I don't know if I can
he's
do
proud
that,
of himself for not doing it. Bill Burr, listened to him go from being a drunk to not drinking for over 4 or 5 years now.
I don't know if I can do that, man. I mean, maybe later on in my life, but I don't know if I can do that right now.
Yeah, I see. Is it how selfish is it of me to not want you to do it so I can like come drink with my buddy?
I think that's fine. I think that's fine.
For me being selfish like that?
Yeah, that's fucking fine.
Oh yeah, because I'm not breaking my selfishness.
Oh, okay.
But
You did break your selfishness,
what do you
actually.
mean?
You helped somebody at work.
Again, we can't go to the list now. You can't get all these fucking things off of the list. I was a nice guy for a day.
Yeah, that was great.
I've received a lot of positive fucking feedback.
Damn right.
Only from you and Marcel and the guy I helped. But
So
yeah,
Marcel told you, came up to you, or you told him about it?
I talked to him about it in a way.
Yeah.
That's how we were talking about Zach in a way too. I had to show Marcel some bullshit stuff. Okay, this is fun. Like, I don't know if I'll get. I bring up Marcel the fact because I had to talk to him about the day I wasn't a nice guy.
Yeah.
Like the day afterwards.
Yeah.
Not to the same guy. So yeah, you like. I don't even know. This is how you're. Maybe I'm just scared of your influence because it rubs off. Like, don't make me sober, man. Like, yeah, you asked me to help somebody out. Like, how did that start? I didn't say, hey, can I help somebody out? That's for sure.
No, because this guy's been asking me. He's very good, and he's been killing hydro. The posi, we do hydro trucks, so we've been killing the hydro floors. Like one day, everything welded type of a thing.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I just want to learn more about this. Like, I want to learn everything. He's like, can you teach me to do side packs? And this was like months ago, like, well, maybe a month ago. And I'm like, okay, no, this was actually before Christmas. I said, first chance I get, I will get you on side packs. And so then he brought it up to me again, and I was like, okay, the next set that comes in, which is the set that you started, I said, I'll get you to do side packs. You did the whole first. Did you do the first set? Yeah, no, you started the first set. And no, you did I did the
left side.
box. You did the center box, and then you did the set.
Yeah.
And then he said to me, he looked at the side packs. He's like, oh, am I going to get to do side packs? And I said, you know what? Let me see. So I walked over there and we were talking, and you were doing the side packs. But no, that was the day before. And then when I came and talked to you, I wasn't even thinking about it.
No, it was a spur of the moment thing.
It was a spur of the moment thing. And I was like,
I was starting a brand new side.
Yeah.
I was at the perfect point.
Perfect.
And then you brought it up.
Yeah. And I said, well, you want to help? You want to train a guy? And I didn't have anything for him to do at that point. And he's like, and you're like, no. And I kind of wanted to push harder, but I kind of didn't. You know what I mean? But then I was like, you know what? I fucking need this. I need this guy to learn a side pack so I can feel like so he can feel like, number one, like he's getting
He deserves a reward of some kind.
He definitely does.
Yeah, I get it.
And you finally said yes.
Yeah, I can't remember how persistent you were. I'm going to give myself a little bit of credit.
You
Relented faster than you might have thought.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna. Because if you notice, I was kind of walking away ish. But
I don't remember that.
Back, I was like walking away, and I was like, because I didn't want to push it too much. But
sometimes I need a second to realize the error of my, you know what I mean, like my stubbornness in this situation, or situations like that. And so I saw that. We talked on air. People thought, you know what I mean, like that I was going to help Zach.
Yeah.
Kyle, the fish, whatever you want to call him. And we got to a point where, we want to help this guy out. And you know what? I should take a little bit of some of your example and just take some control of the situation. If I want to not just assume somebody's going to be in my area or take over a job I'm working on, then show them the way you kind of wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Like, because it's going to happen sooner or later. So like, let's bring this guy in. Then this guy betrays you in a way. You know what I mean? Like you almost went fully away like for this. We left it out. It's not, again, we try, believe it or not, we do try to keep these people's names out of the fucking system. But so you were about to fucking step up to the plate and say, you can go fucking take over with Jay. He said it's going to be good. You're still willing to go on nights and do this? And then he hummed and hawed and he backtracked and he was like, maybe I don't want to go on nights. And just like me, I would have been like, bro, that's all I need to hear. Fuck you. Yep. Okay, this conversation's over. Good luck. And so it's just like, how dare you, disrespect me trying to help you type of thing. Yep. So then we never heard from it again. I realized, you told me what happened with that. And you go, it didn't fail. And I was like, hey, wait a sec. Did you like say in a meeting that I would do this? So am I going to get the credit for wanting to do it? And then I don't have to do it because he doesn't want to? And you go, no, it never went that far. And I'm like, God, I almost got a little fucking extra gold star beside my name.
Yeah.
on that big list. And
But
and
you ended up getting one.
well, so you said that, and
Yeah.
then so it wouldn't have been the guy I was thinking of. And I don't know any of your guys on your shift.
Yeah.
Like I know Booby, and then there's a lot of Indians on the crew. So
Yeah.
they're like, there's way more Indian like talk, Hindu talk, whatever the language is going on than English in that place. And so I'm like, not trying to be ignorant in a way, but it's like, how hard is this going to be for me to teach? Never mind, like, you know what I mean? Is there going to be a language barrier? So you promised me, no, I'm going to give you one of my smart guys. You know what I mean? I wouldn't do this to you. Like, he deserves it. And so I trusted you. This is where it definitely comes in.
Yeah.
I don't trust you from the jump, but I trust you now, fucking 218 episodes, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, and like, I can't help but trust you, right? Like, it's different now,
Yeah.
right? It's different than just even Marcel and the friendship I have with him saying, you know, I've tried to do this. It's like, no, you and I have talked extensively about this, and you
Yeah.
know exactly the best way to get anything out of me. You know what I mean? You didn't. It's not a long game. You know what I mean? Your whole existence. Yeah, I don't know. Fucking,
Maybe it is a long game.
So we have this. So I was like, I agree. And so this guy comes over with the best attitude ever. Like, it's so infectious.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, you know what I mean? A big smile. You know what I mean? Like, he's not jaded yet at all. He's kind of probably be like, what, like 25, 26? I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's 24.
Yeah, something. I'm pretty good.
24, 25.
So
yeah.
he's young guy, and he's like, boom. And I really like working with him. Like,
Yeah.
I try to explain it myself to him. I do over explaining type of talk. And I'm like, it's hard to say what to show, what not to show. So whenever I've had to show anybody anything, I just start off by going, all I'm doing is showing you the way I do it. I'm not going to tell you it's right or wrong. You can say, you know what I mean? This is how the result gets done. I look at everybody else doing the same thing in a different way. I don't know how to explain for them. You can, you know what I mean? Like, I've learned things from other people, but right now I'm going to treat you like a fucking grade 5,
Mhm.
and you're going to be just listening. And it's not out of disrespect. It's just how, you know what I mean? We go. And then this guy, there's a few different type of people, and I'd be one of them, that if you just give them a random welder and ask them to weld something, they're going to want to know what kind of settings is that, or just assume that it's not like they wanted,
Yeah.
and not blame the tool. But if something's not worked out, it's like, oh, I don't know how this is set up. I've just jumped on this machine, right? It just doesn't know. But he had zero of that. He had like eagerness to do it, and he wasn't a bitch on the machine. He just hopped on and was obviously a really good welder.
Yeah, he is.
He didn't like complain about the settings. He didn't even move the settings. Like, he just worked with what the way the welder was for me, and had hardly any questions, and really picked up on me showing him one side, he'd do another thing. And we moved along, and he really seemed to appreciate how I talked with him
Yeah.
and showed him and explained my way. Even to the fact, I don't know what, but we had a couple of jokes.
Yeah.
He was starting to talk, you know what I mean, a little bit like personal, you know what I mean? Like, I can imagine getting to know him faster, having these interactions with him, like working for a couple hours.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I talked to him after I said, so how did it go? He's like, it went good. He's like, he's a good teacher. He's a good teacher. I'm like, he said he's not a teacher. He's like, no, he's a good teacher. He's like, I'm like, do you think you'd be able to do the side pack? He's like, yeah, maybe one more time, like a little more practice, a little more teaching, but like, yeah, I can do it. Obviously, I know he could do it.
Yeah, I would do too.
I think what would be actually really good is if we put him in your bay, do what we were doing with Kyle.
I
and
would.
do it
I
with
would
him.
fully welcome that with even the cobalts.
Yeah.
Like, you should do that with him. Whatever you guys have planned, because I'm scared of what's planned for my area and what the
Yeah.
future is. Like, I know
Yeah.
I'm probably not long. I've been kicked out of every bay that I've ever had at this place, because I even went from Streetsville. So you go from a place that you make it good, and then it gets taken away from you,
Yeah.
and then you can eventually make another place good for yourself. But it's just like, fuck, I've have it like perfect here. Like, it's just a great place to work. Don't, like, it's so annoying that it's going to be like, for whatever reason, changed, right?
Yeah.
But it's just going to be for whatever, like, I'll just have to make do with whatever it is. So whatever my bay or whatever that ends up being is, you should just have him take over like we would have with
Yeah.
Kyle.
I think that's going to be the best. And I think it'll work with you staying as late, dude, because then he can learn more directly from you and whatnot. You know what I mean?
It'll benefit. It's really the
For
best way it
sure.
should be done.
And yeah, the only problem is that he's just so good on hydro right now that he's the only one who makes it move, and we have like 8 more of them.
So then it's detrimental for the expansion of the company to make him just do that. If you want him to learn more, then you take somebody who's good. Don't stifle them into a fucking bad place.
Yeah, but it's like then the project.
Yeah, I don't know how to balance that. That's not
It's
above my pay grade.
It's the fucked up part of it.
But then you'll never get a better person.
no, and I don't want him to leave and feel like he's not going.
And
anywhere.
so that's how you. I mean, that's in whatever. I mean, I get it. So it worked out. Like
Yeah,
I know
it
I have a
was
new
good.
friend. I have a
was
new
good.
friend. I can remember his name and everything. And so so I didn't mind it. And if it happened again, I wouldn't mind it again. I wouldn't say the same opportunity came and I didn't do the same. Like I was going to give it 2 days later. It might have been the next day.
Yeah.
So I'm working on something totally different. Nobody's coming to take over me, but Tio's working. Somebody else is working a couple days over on the same thing. We're just staggered. We're working on different stages of it or whatever, but it's the same product. At the end of the day or 2 days, we want the same thing done. And so we just go about it a little different way. So this guy takes over from what Tio's doing, and I see what he's starting, and it's not standard. It's a new thing to maybe Tim. I don't know. I don't assume like what he knows or what doesn't know.
He's never done one before.
And so I just think I can assume that he hasn't done it. And so so I have my area done, and he's working on something that I've already built, but he can't see like how like he needs to know how the whole thing starts to be built. So he's looking at what I've already done, and it's upside down. It's all like kind of together. And he asked me like a dumb question, and he should be forgiven. Like again, he's got time. I'm not even buzzed. If I was buzzed, I'd even be more forgiving. But or not. Interesting. We'll never know.
We'll never know.
And so we have this situation where he's. I see him looking and go, and I'm watching all this out of the corner of my eye, doing my thing, and he's probably trying to figure out how to do that. If I were him, he should go ask his boss, Booby, to fucking find out how to do this, right?
Yeah.
And if he's got questions, he can. I shouldn't feel. I don't know how I should feel that he can just assume he can ask me, right? Like my. The non-dickish move of me should just be like, I should go there and ask him what he wants to know.
Well, you know, he probably heard from Vishu that you're a good teacher.
Maybe.
Because they talk a lot too.
Yeah, maybe. Well, yeah, maybe, but I don't know. Well, he's no Vishnu, I'll tell you that, because he's like 15 feet away from me looking at this thing, and I'm in my bay working on, like, the same bay working on this thing. So I see him over there, and I kind of look, and I see him, and he doesn't ask me to come over. He doesn't ask, can I ask you a question? Like, again, I'm being a bit fucking sensitive. You know what I mean? I can recognize me being sensitive in this moment, too. But I see him looking, and he fucking curls his finger and looks at me and come over. And right away, I'm like, who the fuck are you to ask me that way?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not your friend.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to go over there. Like, again, I know, so there's a certain oversensitivity of me seeing that. Because I already knew he was going to want to ask me something. And so when he does, I don't like the way he asks.
Mm-hmm.
So right away, whatever, I'm owning that and I'm living in it. So right away, I don't want to do anything with
Do you
this
think
guy.
it would have been better if you just would have went over there right when he came in? Hey, do you need help?
Ultimately, yes, that's how I could have controlled the situation.
Yeah.
And not been disappointed, but I still in the second feel that that's not my place right now. If he wants to ask something, he has to know how to ask me.
True.
Right? Like, again, I could make it better by being the better person. He being the hero of the fucking this little story and doing that, but that's not who I am. I wouldn't mind it. Like, I'm helping Vishnu out. I love the feeling of that.
Yeah.
Love hearing that's being said about me in that way. In whatever language. And the and then so I recognize that. But the fact that he asked me like that, and the whole point, I was just turned off on it right away.
Yeah, that irks me too when people do that.
Right away. So I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
So he looks, and I fucking look at him like with my eyes in my face. I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, I make him ask me again. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not running over there because you curled your finger.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I said that with my eyes. And he's like, can I ask you something? Like, whatever. He says something again. So I come walking over. He goes, yeah, I'll keep it as simple as I can. Is this plate flush with this box? And so I know it's not. And it's not like, I recognize how obvious it might not be that it's that because he can't see it or whatever. But I know if you read the book, it shows you that it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And this moment, I'm not fully recognizing how shitty the book is and all that. But I do know that he never looked at this book. His first call was to come and ask me. And I know he's been there long enough, and it's not his fault that he shouldn't know. Like, I don't know why he doesn't know to go to the book first, but the fact he didn't go to the book first makes me answer the question, did you look at the book? And he looks at me like, well, why would I do that? Like, he's looking at me like that's not the answer he wanted to hear.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
probably expected something different.
and I'm like, did you look at the book? Like, well, the book would tell you. And so he's like, just staring at me. And I'm now more pissed. You're not even answering my question. And like, I'm just assuming that his answer is no, I'd rather ask you. And so my answer to that is go look at the book or ask your boss.
Mm-hmm.
And then I walked away. And then so he's looking at me like I'm a dick because that's a dick move, I guess, right? But I'm like,
that's a dick move.
okay, but I'm right. I'm feeling righteous about it.
Yeah.
How am I not? Is there no point to my action?
You were annoyed. You were just reacting because you were annoyed.
But do I have a right to be annoyed? Who has more of a right? Is there anybody in the right there?
Not really. He should have asked for, everybody could have done something different. Everybody could have done something different.
Why do I have to hold his hand in that moment like that?
Because you're a vet.
But he didn't help himself in the slightest.
He didn't, and people are stupid.
Okay, so that started. So the second he walks away with, I'm swimming in the dick move of it all. I realize I'm not a hero in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
I realize I don't know if I would have done that to Vishnu, but Vishnu wouldn't have asked me like that.
No, he wouldn't have.
Right? So I don't know. So I have to, so then I go, yes, you're right, Jay. You should have done that. So now I see him, like there's a big body in between where we are, like a big fucking piece of work in front of, between us. So I see him in his little area at the book. Hey, lo and behold, like, look at, that's what you fucking should have done. Like, that's what we all have to do.
Yeah.
You want to work here, we have to look at the book. It's not my fault that you haven't been taught that, or you didn't do that and you have been taught. Like, whoever's fault, then blame them for that. And so, but I'm also in my head, I go, the books are shit. Like, fucking whatever. You could have been better. I'm recognizing. So I give it a couple of minutes. I finish what I'm doing, and I see him over the book. So I walk all the way around, like the fucking, like not far, but I walk all the way to him.
Far
I
enough.
step over some fucking shit. I get to him. I go, and he's on the page, right? And I go right beside him. Right. This is the last thing I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Right. But fucking, I'm looking. I go, see what I'm talking about? Like, it's right there. If you would have looked at the book, that's how I knew you were asking the wrong question, because it's right there. And you wouldn't have asked that if you saw that information. And I said, and you found that on your own. I go, so that's what I meant. I said, he goes, I go, I know the book is shit. I can't do anything about that, but you have to help yourself before I'm going to be able to help you.
Yeah.
In something like that. I didn't record it exactly, but you know what I mean? Like, and I might be giving myself a little bit more credit, but I said pretty much something like that. And I go, and that's why I came over now, because I wanted to see you see it in the book. And so, you know what I mean? I'm in my head, I'm saying I recognize I was wrong, or this is where I could have been better. So this is why I came over. And even this, I'm taking more sensitive. Maybe he truly meant it like, hey, thanks for coming over.
Yeah. That's
But
what I was going to say.
I looked at it like fucking, it was sarcastic.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming. He goes, well, that's why I was just asking a question. Like in our conversation when I just went over there to ask you a question, bro. If he was, if you said it like that, it might have been even better. But I just went, and I go, I know, but it was a dumb question. You didn't look at the book. Right? And that's why, and then, so he was trying to defend his actions, and I tried to defend myself. And that's what I said. Well, this is why I came over now, because I wanted to show. He goes, well, thanks for coming over. Now I'm taking it as, yeah, thanks for coming over.
Yeah.
But he might have just been saying, hey, thanks for coming over.
So like so I heard this story before, and so I had time to think about it, right? And I was thinking about it, and like, so that guy in general, he's not really like a sarcastic type of a person. He's never been sarcastic to me, is what I can say, right?
I see.
Maybe it's different because I'm in charge, right? So maybe he's not going to be sarcastic to me. He generally does his work, and he's not the fastest. He doesn't learn the fastest, but he has the ability to do the job, right? So I was like thinking, because when you first told me, I was like, that's such an asshole move too. Like, why is he being a dick about it? But like, that's why I was saying maybe about the Vishu thing. Maybe they talked and he's like, yeah, this guy's a good guy, or blah, blah, blah. And then he just was trying to steal some knowledge from you, or he knew you guys were working on the same body. He saw maybe there was more questions he was going to ask. Maybe he just wanted some sort of insight, is what I was thinking, like afterwards, right? But at the same time, you got to look at the book. You have to. If it's not in there, you have to look at the book. So when our other little new protege, Caleb, whenever he goes and he asks Booby any kind of questions, Booby's like, did you look at the book? You have to look at the book. And he does the same exact thing, but he just takes it in a different way.
Yeah, see, I'm recognizing my oversensitivity in this moment or whatever, right? Like,
Yeah.
There's no way I should not look at it that it was not sarcastic. Like, I'm adding more to it. You know him way more than me. For you to say, yeah, that's the first time he's ever done anything sarcastic
But
like
that's
that.
to me, though. It's different.
No, I can recognize it. But you know also what I can do? Like you said, it's a needed learning moment for him. If Booby tells that to Caleb, right, then so I'm not in the wrong for saying that. That's
No.
like other people hear the same fucking anger, like result. He's going to fucking know. I do it too. Like, did you look at the book before you fucking? He's going to have to go to also to a time where he is supposed to know where all the parts are.
Yeah.
And then you fucking go. You have to go to Ali or your boss, say, hey, do you know where this bracket is?
Yeah.
And then you go and it's where he fucking knows this exactly is. You go, fuck. I forgot to look there.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's the same in the book. Oh, I forgot to look there.
Yeah.
The worst is when you did something that they didn't write and they wrote it in an obscure part of the book.
Yeah.
And they go, well, why would you write it there? And then they can just fall back. Well, it was written there. Did you read the book? Like they get to use the same fucking bullshit excuse when they draw the book up.
For sure.
And then we get to challenge them like when it's wrong.
For sure.
So he can also say the book doesn't always show you. But like I said, I knew that he didn't look. So anyway, that's why I took the angle. But instead of like having a hate on for this guy and saying, oh, he did me wrong and do that, just assume it wasn't sarcastic. Just assume he has no choice but to look at it as a learning moment because he's always going to look at the book.
For sure.
He's going to be like,
look at the
fucking,
book.
I got to go ask this. I want him to be at a point where he knows I'm not mad at him and I know he's not mad at me type of thing. And he wants to ask me something again, but he's going like, I'm going to fucking make sure I look to see it's in the book first.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Well, he's probably not going to ask. I think what's going to happen, is
why wouldn't he? Because he doesn't think he can ask me anymore?
Yeah. I think I haven't asked about it. So I'll probably ask next week and see. I'll get the digs, okay?
I don't care, really.
But, I'm going to tell you anyways. Doesn't matter, Jay. And then he's like, I think he's probably going to associate it with, he doesn't realize that the whole thing that started it off was the approach. I don't think he's ever going to realize that.
Oh, I see.
And he's going to associate it with that you don't want him to ask you any questions.
That's his
probably
fault.
Yeah, for sure. And that's probably what he's going to associate it with. And like, well, I mean, and whatever story he tells his lead hand is going to be that. But his lead hand knows how to approach you.
Yes.
And so he's not going to tell him, yeah, that I went over there and I curled my finger. And he would have been like, oh my God, why would you do that? You shouldn't do it. He's not going to be able to correct him in that. Because if he would have came over and been like, hey, can I ask you a question? And you'd be like, maybe you still would have said you got to look in the book, or maybe you wouldn't. You would have said, oh, well, it's supposed to be 3/16, but I know for sure this measurement's in the book.
Yeah.
So
Or I could have said, come here, let me show you, bro.
Yeah, pull open the book and show him it's right there. So it would have been a different. I just think it was just the approach that just kicked. Because even Booby does it to me. Whenever he calls me, he yells for me, and then whenever he goes like this, I just ignore him. I just freaking turn around and walk the other way. I'm like, no, I'm not walking over to you if you're calling me to do some sort of nonsense. So I get the same thing. It's very annoying. I'm just like, who do you think you are?
Yeah, I can't help myself. So I've been validated on that. So
Yeah.
I don't hold like that. I do recognize like my how I could be better in that too, right?
I just think it got off on the wrong foot.
But I just like again, I don't do what I don't want to do sometimes. But actually, just like eating and all the things, it's better for you to be the better person in that. Like, what's the harm of me jumping up and saying, "Hey, do you got a question?" Right? Like
Because he
it's
annoyed you. That's why.
But yeah, so that's why I didn't do it. So you can't break it. Both things are true.
Yeah.
The thing I almost got caught against me though is because I know you can't trust the book.
Yeah,
Right, like I'm
that's
talking about the
thing.
book like it's gospel.
No,
but I also
not
know
even
that this
close.
particular moment, I'm right because I've had to look at the book myself, knowing everything about this. I still have to look at the book for this
Yeah,
information.
yeah. I knew it was. I built the crane towers the other day. I knew it was yesterday. I knew it was 3/16. I still looked in the book.
But I also put the things inside of it where they're supposed to go, so the plate just rests on all those fucking posts.
Mhm.
It has no choice but to be
Oh, you
3/16.
put your posts in
Yeah, because I
first?
hate fucking welding them in that
Oh,
tiny compartment
God.
before.
That's why I didn't weld the post at all. I get somebody else to do.
Yeah,
it.
because you're fucking more hoity-toity than me. Fucking don't want to get your hands dirty anymore.
I do the
You
fun
just
stuff.
pick up, choose. That's why you should fucking ask your boss.
Thick aluminum? Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah, you cocksucker. So you're maybe the one putting the trigger on hold on my fucking machine
Oh,
and leaving
no
it there.
way. That's retarded.
God.
Who does that?
You're fucking people.
Johnny.
So I told him that, and he went to his body, and I whatever, right? And I said the book. A half hour later, or whatever, now he's having Booby help him with the rest of the box.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's more questions that he's going to have, and there's fucking this and that. So I see them working with the book together and working on stuff like that. Like 20 minutes later, half hour later, Booby comes to me, has a question. Jay. Or what, Jason? He doesn't say Jay. It says, and he's always in a panic. He says, hey, this says the bottom of the compartment shouldn't be welded on until the whole thing is done. And that is true for a certain type of body that we have.
Yeah.
And I've built these trucks before, and it was that note was not in the area where you should have it if you don't want that process to happen.
Absolutely.
It's in a whole like a different section of the like a book, and I'm like, I get fucking scared right away. I'm like, holy shit, Jay, you assumed that this was just the truck you were in, like you didn't see that note, and I'm like, but that note is wrong.
Yeah,
like
it
that's
doesn't
not
make sense.
for. It's totally correct. I go, this is bullshit. This is actually dangerous.
Yeah.
Because if a real person, like if a new person looked at that and did it that way, they would never, like, it wouldn't even be able to be built the way that they're asking it to be built.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I was questioning myself. I go, is that true? And I'm looking at that note, I go, fuck, Booby. I think that note is bullshit.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, it's bullshit. We don't build it like that. I go, fuck, but I got to admit, I didn't see that note in the book. I go, so I'm not building the book. I'm not building the body to code for the book.
Yeah.
Just like I gave somebody shit for not doing
it.
So like, what kind of mess did I just put this person in?
True.
Right? I could have been called out, but so I felt put in a stupid position. Part of me was like, have I done something wrong? 99% of me was sure, like, no, you did it right. So I was like, fuck, man. In the morning, because everybody else was gone, like you were the only important person there, so you couldn't do anything about this.
Nope.
So in the morning, I'm going to have to wait for Marcel to come and show him this, and then he's going to have to go into the design room and find out what's up. So this is where Marcel comes in. So this
Time out. So Booby asked me that question. He's like, this bottom says this. I said, that doesn't make any sense. I said, go find out what Jay did and then do what he did. And that's when he came over to you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So he's looking
so
at.
they did what you did, right?
Yeah, they did what I did. No, then that was the end of like. So the whole time, like, okay, well, I'll get there. So the next morning, I come in and I tell Marcel, I go, listen, there's a fucking part of me that thinks that I did this wrong because they wrote it. Like, we're looking at it, I know why they wrote it because they just copy and pasted something, like it was lazy designing, right? It was just one of the many reasons we hate these people. Sorry, Ryan, hate is the word I'm using. And we fucking, and I tell him the whole story. And so I tell him the story about me being a dick to Thing. Yeah. And before I start, I go, I'm trying to, I don't know how I started. I go, you know what? I was nice. I said, I was a nice guy for a day. And he fucking stopped. He goes, I heard. And I go, what? And he goes, yeah, what this is. I go, fuck. And I got to tell you, more of me was, I want that reputation. Like I want to be talked about like that if possible. Right? Not open. I don't know. Right? Like when you tell me about other people that aren't talked about that, who are doing things like that's detrimental to a shift change. I don't want to be part. I so easily could be part of that side of the argument, or not even be that type of person as well. Yeah. But there's no you've worked on me enough to make me to the person that. No, don't be like that. Help. Do this. Tammy says it's a dick. Whenever she hears me not want to help anybody, that's the ultimate dick move. Yeah. When I was talking to her about the dick move about drinking, I go, no, like that's a dick move of you not wanting to help. She doesn't understand. Yeah. No. Like she doesn't. She's a teacher in nature, but she has to teach new people all the time at her work. She's always in a position to want to help, especially young fucking uninformed people. Exactly. She thinks it's like her duty, and she thinks I'm a dick for not wanting to do that. So she hears that. So anyway, so I'm happy Marcel, like I was talked about in that kind of way. Yeah. I don't want it to be like, but I don't know. Like
I even brought it up to Ryan.
See, so that's better. Like whatever. It's some kind of. Why is my initial reaction cringy like this? I don't know. I get cringy still. I brought it
up to Ryan, and I told him, he's like, really? Because if you remember, I think it was last week where you were very mad about the body that was put up. Remember you were mad about it? That was actually the guy you was the dick to. He's actually
the one who worked on that shit. Yeah, I hated that fucking shit.
And so you were mad, and like I was talking to Ryan at that point, and you walked by. I think you came to grab something, and you just looked so furious. He's like, "Why is Jay so mad?" I'm like, "It's just something about the body, no big deal." He's like, "Okay, whatever." And then we had that meeting about the Johnny and all that kind of stuff, and then it was like that was the end of that week. Yeah, is the same week that you helped. And then I was telling him, I'm like, yeah, Jay was even like helping out with training Vishu how to do this and that. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, it's pretty good. It helped a lot because he learned a lot, blah, blah, blah. You know, pumped you up a little bit.
Thanks, bro.
And I'm like, this is, now we can separate you from the legacy guys, the stubborn legacy guys.
Stubborn legacy, yeah, so that's funny.
We could separate. Yeah, there's these legacy guys who are making life difficult, and then there's Jay.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
I feel like some kind of kiss ass for wanting to be that.
You just want to.
I'm reluctantly being
job.
that.
You just want to.
No, I can be better than that. Maybe that's why I'll work on the drinking later, and I'll just work on my attitude. I'll work better. No, fuck that. That's fucking hilarious, man. No, so it's good. Like I appreciate that. So that's just taking more control. So this guy deserves my attention to, like I said, like anything, like just take over my whole bay, like and just every time we work on like. If you want to keep him just fucking stuck where he is for production's sake, then go ahead. But you're also doing a detriment to everything else that you are promoting in the company.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like you're not using somebody that's a good example to find somebody to learn.
Yeah.
Right? Like look at you guys now can be a place where Ali's sick for a whole week and there's nowhere near as missed as he would have been a year ago.
Absolutely.
Right? That's
what I was thinking about too. I was like, he's gone and like things are moving.
That's perfect.
Marcel was frustrated, but I was like,
it's harder because you're different. It's a different thing.
Par for the course. But yeah, I think that's a good plan. I think we should do that.
We'll try. We'll
Yeah.
try. Man, we don't have more work. So what I actually wanted to get to, yeah, I said it on air because it's fucking. I should remember more. I'm not drinking. That you could easier get me on a plane than to do the fucking sober October type of fucking
So
deal.
we're skydiving?
No, but I remember a couple weeks ago when you said tried to compromise and do the I fly thing,
Yeah.
right? And then I told Tam I maybe brought it up when I came home from the pod, and she's like right away she goes, "Have you ever seen the fucking fails?" I
the
five
fails
flails
are
videos, and I'm like
hilarious.
right away go, God no, why would that never come into my mind?
Tell
And
me you looked at it.
I sent you some.
Oh
I
yeah,
sent-
that was the one I saw.
Yeah, then I
Yes,
sent
yes.
you some. I was
That
like, fucking bro, like I'm not
hilarious.
going to the fucking I fly thing either. That looks even more painful than the fucking real
It's
skydiving.
better to do real skydiving.
Yeah, and even at the best, you're fucking you're gay ballet dancing in the air with somebody else because somebody has to hold you
Yeah.
while you go up in the tunnel in a certain way.
Yeah.
But
On skydiving, you might be tandem.
yeah, that's gay too. It's all gay. But the that's why I'm not doing it. I don't want to be strapped to a guy. There we go. There we go.
No
But I saw that
strap-ons,
fails.
No strap-ons.
Those they do crazy things up in the air nowadays, right? The fucking 5,000 mile club or whatever it is.
Oh yeah.
The fucking the fails were so funny
Yeah.
because it's ordinary. You must have to sign a huge long waiver before you hop into that chamber.
You must.
I don't want to do like that. Made me definitely not want to go.
Damn it. Oh well.
I don't know. Is there a video of I fly successes?
There's gotta be. There's gotta be.
There's no fun. So that made me not fucking want to do any of that. That was fucking crazy. So, but you saw that and never cared.
Nope, never cared because I'm like, I'm gonna be a pro.
I'm going to leave some of that other shit. I was got some more like stuff about like taking care of yourself
Yeah.
or doing whatever, just for the sake of making some different kind of conversation. I don't want to jump. I have some new ideas of my Amazon Prime. Like I don't know. I don't
Yes.
tie in Amazon, but I haven't watched any Amazon show for a while.
Oh really?
Like the last show we watched was Reacher, and then for some reason so I watched this week the last couple episodes of Reacher that I didn't watch before.
Yeah.
I wish I liked the show better. I don't know. Have you watched Reacher?
So I've watched the first season. I liked the first season.
It was good enough.
Yeah, this one is not as good.
It seems like
It's-
forced whatever. Like it got better. I'm glad I watched it in some
but,
point.
Like I always have to remind myself that Reacher's not really to be taken serious. It's like this just over exaggerated.
It's like a Fast and the Furious type of fucking
Yeah,
when you watch it
so-
with that lens, it's perfect.
Yeah, it's great.
It's got all
You
that
know what I
cheesiness
mean?
to it. So we kind of enjoy it. But so I can't remember when the last time I watched Prime. So we put Prime on this week, and then fucking I was blown away, way exaggerating it. I was fucking shocked as even exaggerating it. But I was surprised that they have ads.
Yeah.
Right away when I put it, Reacher comes in, then the little screener comes up. It goes, you can go ad free for $2.49 more, or now you're going to be showing ads on your shows. And right away I felt righteous anger. Like, did you know this? When did this come into effect?
I knew this was happening months ago. They announced it like the end of last year, and I was like, motherfucker.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But there's no way I'm not paying for ads. I tell you, ours didn't come up on our screen yet because we haven't watched Amazon as well. Like we haven't caught up on Reacher yet.
Yeah.
So ours didn't come up yet, but I know that button's getting clicked.
You're going to click what button?
The $2.49 for sure.
Yeah. So I haven't clicked it yet.
You know?
No.
There's
This is
no
why I
way.
don't know why I get righteous like this. Like I blow money all fucking the time.
Yeah.
I'll gamble fucking like $5-10 on just a random game. Then
More
not even
than
know the score.
$5-10 a month.
Way more, but that's I win it back. I got it registered. No,
Yeah.
but we got the DAZN because we wanted to watch. We weren't happy with the 4 or 5, sometimes 6 choices of games that we had on basic Canadian cable.
Yeah.
We wanted the ones that we wanted to watch specifically. So we got DAZN. We got all the other benefits, but we canceled DAZN this month because football's done.
Yeah.
It was like an extra $35 a month for DAZN.
God damn.
But they show everything. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
got a lot of like mostly soccer stuff, right? But whatever. It's a worldwide sports app.
Yep.
That's why it can exist for $30 a month. So we were like, we had no problem. That was part of the budget. We could fit that in. So, but we cut it off and we don't need it. So the $2.50 comes in and I'm righteous about it. Like, I'm like, go fuck yourself. So we watched the rest of it. Like, I don't know how long I'm going to stick to my guns on this, right? Like most of you should just go do it. I
How
paid for
many ads was on it?
So it's 2 ads a show for
Oh,
15
God.
seconds.
Fuck that.
Maybe 30 seconds, one of them. Most of them are just ads for Amazon shows.
Yeah.
I don't know when, so I can see the slippery slope. I can see myself paying for it. But the thing is, when it comes to Amazon, just like you said, like how often am I going to want to watch this? Like I'm not jonesing to watch a fucking Amazon.
Yeah.
It's not that important to me. I would never change my Netflix subscription from what it is to the ad-free one. Like they sell Netflix with ads now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Right? Like if you don't have a Netflix account right now, you're gonna get the choice. Ads or no ads.
Yeah.
And whatever the price difference is, like you choose. I already pay for the no ads.
Yeah.
So I'd have to make an extra effort to get the ads, and it just seems stupid. Or
Yeah.
I don't know, how much money am I wasting by that's not, I don't care as much of the ads as like you do.
Yeah, I don't want to watch any of them.
Yeah, you pay for everything.
Yeah.
So even if you're not going to watch, even if you go to watch Reacher and you don't know the next time you're going to watch a show, you're going to pay $250 a month for the rest of the year or your life just for the fact that you might watch another Amazon show.
Absolutely, because we already pay for Amazon Prime, so it might as well just.
But that's
add
for
on.
shipping and stuff.
That all included.
No, I get it. That's what the whole point is now. But now, so it's like, it's not like you have to pay $250 to keep Prime. You
It's
still have
just
Prime.
$250 extra.
Yeah.
That's no big
No,
deal.
I hear you. But that's how they get you. They keep fucking jumping up.
Hey, making TV shows and movies are expensive.
I'm not here to fucking justify them. They're not like the oil companies or the banks that always have to have a profit, but they want to be. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, but
They're never happy.
It's so hard to get profitable in that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're like gouging us. I just think they're just trying to keep it going. And I feel like if we pay for our ads or they add ads, whichever way you go about it, we'll get better shows.
Okay, so right now I have no choice but to just be a witness to whatever they decide to do.
Yeah.
I have a choice to pay for it or not.
Yeah.
Like I get it. It's the same with like you either have it or not.
So right now you're not going to do it.
Right now I can tell you I probably won't because it's not like I watch Amazon every week.
Mm.
Right? Like if a new show came on that
Then
I
you watch it.
that I'd watch. Like so I watched The Challenge. I like The Challenge so much I don't even wait for it to go on Paramount.
Yeah.
I pay for Paramount
Yeah.
for fucking South Park.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm never not paying for, like, you know what I mean? Like if I really wanted to admit my budget, I watch fucking 4 shows a year on that fucking, that thing.
Yeah.
Right? But I also know like, hey, if I want to watch Mission Impossible, I
You
can.
can just watch
I
it.
can watch Frasier if I
Yeah.
can. They can do all these other things. So there, I know I like having that option, but really I don't know, like I said, my cutoff right now is like not getting it. But if I watched it a certain amount, like I could, but since I'd have to go that extra mile to do it, like click that button.
One click, Jake?
Yeah.
Oh.
I could probably see myself doing it.
So
I can see myself not doing it right now.
We and Netflix are like our 2 top watched. If it's either Amazon or Netflix is usually what we go to first. One that I pay for, we have Paramount. One that I pay for that I don't use at all is Apple TV.
Yeah, so me too.
use Apple TV.
Yeah.
And it's always like, oh, they have good shows. Yeah, maybe I'm going to watch a show on Apple TV, but I just very rarely click that.
So instead of canceling that, I might as well just keep it with the ads instead of paying the extra.
Or cancel Apple TV.
But then when they come in with a new show, then I'm going to be like, I want to watch that.
Yeah.
Like there is decent, almost every show that I like on Apple TV is come out as a surprise.
Yeah.
I know we even started watching the one with all like the Godzilla in it.
Yeah.
And we watched one episode and it was kind of good. And for some reason we just didn't go back.
Yeah.
And when I brought it up to watch again, we have other better shows. Like Netflix is a good example. Like but I might be the type of person that doesn't care so much about the commercials. To be honest with you, the commercials are so annoying that it's worth it. If you're watching multiple shows on that platform a week, then it's worth to have it.
Yeah.
What I've actually was contemplating and wanted to ask you is, and where I think the rubber hits the road on this is YouTube Premium.
Yeah.
Do you have YouTube Premium?
Absolutely.
So I know YouTube TV in the States is something. Like if I could get what I think YouTube TV in the States is, I would get that.
That'd be great.
Because don't you get like NBC show? Don't you get almost every show that's out there?
Yep, they're even doing like a Super Bowl pre-show and stuff on it.
They show a lot of football games. Like you almost have to have YouTube TV to watch real NFL during the year.
In the States, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
crazy.
what does YouTube Premium give you in Canada?
No ads.
That's it.
Yeah, no ads. YouTube Music, and yeah, that's basically.
So as a TV streaming device, it's not going to give me anything extra.
probably not. Actually, above Netflix and Amazon for us is we probably watch YouTube more than anything.
Yeah, you're a younger generation. Most everybody fucking below a certain age, like that's what they do.
Yeah, like
YouTube
is-
almost everything. Like we just discovered this week about the YouTube Challenge channel that has
Yeah.
like documentaries about the
Yeah.
fucking like her cousin had to tell her who's your age. Like I've never watched, like YouTube's become a different thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's not for some reason, just me, I'm not going to throw it on the whole generation of people, but for me, for some reason, it's just not the go-to. And I love listening to YouTube music. Like I love, like I'll listen to the video. Like I'll put a video on.
Yeah.
Like I sometimes get like a song I want to hear. When I was doing the AI fucking revolution there for a while, like YouTube for me was the best place to get those videos and songs. And so it always gets interrupted every video by an ad.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like a fucking like a 5-second ad to click here, but it's so annoying to be at work and they to have to go back to the fucking toolbox to fucking get, even if you get a mix of songs,
Yeah.
you know, it goes. But I don't pay for any music streaming device. I have the free Spotify and I have the free Amazon because of the Amazon Prime.
It's free.
And but then a year or so ago, Amazon changed their music and I stopped using it altogether because they kept so many behind a paywall. And I was, again, like righteous. I was like, fuck you. You already got enough of my money. I can listen to this on YouTube. And so I've heard enough of the ad, funny enough, for YouTube Premium that I was curious about it.
It's pretty good. That's something I'm never canceling for sure.
Yeah, so the ads, so we listen to YouTube when we're building Lego. Like there's a reason for me to get that.
Yeah,
I was hoping that there'd be even more of a reason. Like say you could get shows like, you know what I mean, that I watched. Maybe not Netflix.
Well, they also have like movies and stuff that play on there. But if I'm watching a movie, I probably wouldn't even watch it on YouTube. But yeah, it's really mostly about the ads. It's really mostly
Did you listen?
about the
But that is your go-to music app too?
Yeah, I use YouTube Music.
So I'm more
Open to that.
yeah.
So we have the YouTube Premium family account, so all the kids are on it. I remember we went to Selena's mom's one time, and they were watching YouTube on her TV, and an ad came up. They're like, "What is this?" So my kids have
That's
never
hilarious.
experienced YouTube ads because
That's
they've
hilarious.
just been beneficial to be on freaking
That's so
premium.
funny.
They're so spoiled. They're premium their whole lives. Like ads. Yeah.
I kind of thought it's a little underwhelming that it's just the ads to pay for something that I get for free now. And the ads aren't that kind of annoying. They are a little annoying, but I was hoping I would get more for my money.
It's just that in YouTube Music.
Yeah.
Yeah. YouTube Music's great though. Their library's huge.
Yeah, I guess it would be better. But anyway, so I had that on my mind. I have a couple other things like I don't know how serious you want to get or how much more time or if we should save any of these things. I don't know what else is on your mind.
No, there's nothing really on my mind. Oh shit, there's a couple stuff here I want to
Yeah, you
talk
can go.
about.
We got a couple
but
more
I
minutes.
don't know.
I don't know how long we've been going for, to be honest with you. You didn't set the timer properly.
I know I didn't even set the timer. Well,
Like, because I
Okay.
could go off on any of those.
Google Translate, since YouTube, we'll just go to Google. Google Translate and their 90-day fiance.
Oh, so Tammy heard me I get notes on every fucking show.
Yeah.
And so we were talking about like the idea of the Google Translate, right? And how great it is to, you know what I mean? Like I look at it in a way like I can go to work with the earbuds in and listen to all the Indians talk at work and understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
Right. And so I know that's not the future quite yet, but that's the future I see. And so Tammy said it's hilarious because she watches 90 Day Fiancé and they use Google Translate all the time.
Yeah.
The whole premise of the show is like some gringo going to some fucking other country and they don't know how to speak. And she says it causes nothing but fights because it's bad at translating.
Yeah.
And so somebody will say, somebody's son-in-law will be in fucking Bangladesh or wherever and say something like whatever, like kind of complimentary or just like basic. And it comes across as an insult.
Yeah.
And she says it causes all this fucking hilarious drama.
Yeah. That's obviously for TV. That's
like,
obviously for TV.
You think it's genuinely like, so you think it translates perfect?
No, I don't think it's perfect because there's still slang and like there's still different dialects, but Selena uses Google Translate to send emails to French people. You know what I mean? Like her grammar in French isn't that great. So she'll type out her whole email in Google Translate. And that's like one of her go-to tools. So that's how I know that's how I know that's over exaggerated.
Does she have to does she have to like proofread it?
Well, she'll read it. She'll read it because, you know.
Professional.
Yeah, but like.
She hardly ever has to correct it?
Yeah, she's just copy and paste. And
God damn.
She tells people to do that all the time. So I know, and I've used it on Kai, and like sometimes he'll say it's funny and he'll like repronounce things because when you do French, like there could be so much different types of French, right? You can be Paris, you can be Quebec and Northern Ontario. It's all somewhat different, right? But you can get the gist. It's not like where it would say a completely different sentence. Like
it just says something funnier.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're just like, I think we would know that we're way beyond that technologically, that we can translate things basically one-to-one for the most part.
You know what? I hear it now when you're saying it like that. I hear like, I don't know how to say it's rude to me. So it's all me. I love broken English. Like
Yeah.
I tend, if I'm talking to somebody in broken English, I talk back to them in broken English.
Now imagine you do Google Translate in somebody
broken Indian.
English, and then they're like, "What the fuck did you call me?"
But that's it's like what I say. But I fucking love the little fucking differences on how it sounds.
Yeah.
Like nobody harps on like oh, this is a show I should tell you what, but like Gloria from like Modern Family, like she's Colombian, she's got a mistake, and she always just like this says something before the other word, like whatever, like it's just
Yeah.
a little different and it's cute or it's funny, and we go whatever, right? And there's no real serious consequence because we know what they mean,
Yeah.
right? Like I have zero, it's hard for me to recognize what that is like on the other side.
Well, that's the thing, because when they're saying things in their language, because for example, French again, I can go back to
Yeah,
French
that's
'cause it's
how you know
easier.
perfectly. You do.
For a lot of French words and sentences, things are flipped around. So when you're saying it in English, you want to translate it in your head and be like, oh no, it's this way.
Yeah, it's
And
frontwards, backwards.
So when she's saying it in Spanish, she's like, it's probably just flipped around in her language, and the 1-to-1 translation is flipped around. So she say it in the awkward way.
That's why Kai can look at it and he'll giggle.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
It's
He'll
right,
be
but it's
like,
not quite right. Yeah, you're gonna get called
Yeah.
out. You can't go down to the fucking docks and talk like this and get pulled away like you're a native fucking.
Exactly. It's just too much slang and too much dialects for it to be 100% perfect.
So my vision is that it gets it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like eventually gets it. Like so
For
we
sure.
say, "Hey, how's it going, in Canada all the time?" Like
Yeah.
how do you fucking write that? Like how does Google Translate write that? And then like
Yeah.
A is like it's like whatever,
The
a
letter
question
A, is it going to do a letter A? Like,
or
what is it gonna
EH.
do?
Yeah, like how
You
does
know
it
what
get
I
that
mean?
shit?
It just has to somehow understand that.
That's why I'm blown away when people can do it in 2 different languages or whatever. So
Yeah, it's crazy. And now coming out, you seen the Google Translate. Which one did you see? In any event, it's coming out where you can call somebody and they'll speak and it'll translate it on your screen. So if I speak French and you speak English and I'm calling you in French, and it'll show on your screen what I'm saying in English.
yeah, that's
type
what
of
that's
thing.
the kind of
That's the
feature I
one-
need.
That's
That's
apparently
because then I
coming
can
out
go
this
with
month.
then I could go with fucking the guy I wasn't so nice with. I'm not saying there's a language barrier there, and we can just sit there and talk with each other on our phones. Like, no,
Right.
it's got to be 3/16 above the box.
Yeah.
And then it can go back to him and whatever. And he's like,
And he's like,
"How
oh,
come you
yeah.
talk to me such a bad man like the way?" And I'm like,
Right.
"How do you say sorry?"
Right?
So I'm just bringing it up
Yeah.
because you said Gloria. Like, sorry, like
yeah.
more. No, like I don't want to step on any more Google
No,
Translate
that's
talk.
it.
That's the only reason I brought it up because I
That's
thought
it.
that you've even debunked how hilarious that situation is with the fucking bad translate.
Yeah.
But it's not. I'm not saying it's like you're
It's
right.
good for
TV,
TV.
TV's going to exploit it in a more of a
90
way.
Day Fiance is not real.
You called my mom what? Yeah,
Right?
you're right. No, everything about it is fake. I'm not. Shame on me for trying to bring it up in a legitimate type of way like that. I was just saying it's a great premise.
For sure it can happen.
It's a great premise to fucking use. That's the modern day sitcom.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, that would have been Al Bundy using Translate for something and having a hilarious situation fucking breakout for the thing.
Yeah, that would be.
I'm be remiss to say that I don't. It's hard to recommend a show just after watching one. But it's a kind of a story I kind of know about. But there's a new show on Netflix called Griselda.
Oh, we watched it.
Okay, don't tell me. So I've heard about the story of her.
Yeah.
Right. Like I've known the whole the cocaine cowboys and all that
So
kind of
it's
stuff.
funny because
But
yeah,
the episode 1 was great.
Yeah, so I used to listen to this podcast called Mafia. Was that what it was called? And she was one of the people on it. But I've heard like there's been like several podcasts I've listened to of her, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so Selena never heard of her before. this
Tammy's
show.
never either. So I don't
And
want
was
even to
like,
hear this.
Really? I'm
Yeah.
like, you don't know.
Of course not. Why would she search that out?
So she's like, because she knows Pablo Escobar. She knows like.
Well,
you know.
Narcos was good, but she's not part of Narcos. Like, yeah, well,
Yeah,
Escobar,
that's true.
Escobar is
She's
well
world
more
famous,
known.
Like, yeah.
She's smart enough to stay underground. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you have
Yeah.
to like search her out to know her.
Yeah. So.
And that's you might not remember one of the badass things is the beginning of the show, right before anything like that. The quote was from Pablo Escobar. I've never been afraid of a man, or the only man I was afraid of
was a woman.
was a woman
Yeah.
named Griselda.
Yeah.
And then like quoted to Pablo Escobar. And Tammy
Yeah.
Reed's like, oh, God damn. And then so she's played a killer in the first
Yeah,
episode.
she's been pretty good. So, but you know the end of the story, right?
Don't spoil
I don't
anything.
want to really spoil
No, you
it.
can't. I don't want. We'll revisit it.
Oh,
no,
man.
don't say anything. How dare you? Pretend it doesn't
Because
exist.
this is not in the show. This
Don't
part's not
exist.
in the show.
But
This is
Tammy
the real
doesn't.
story.
Tammy still is on the.
Oh yeah, she doesn't know the
She
story.
doesn't know anything
didn't
about
hear
it.
This. Oh,
She's
yeah.
so right away. If she's tied to Pablo Escobar, she knows that she's not going to get caught leaving Colombia. You know what I mean? Like at the beginning of the show, spoiler. I'm not gonna I'm spoiling whatever, you know. So she's like totally blank into the show, right? Like so. But you got to assume she knows that there's something more to her.
Yeah.
Right? When she eventually goes to her friend and she's like saying like, no, I'm just escaping. Like I've left that. I've done that. And then she pulls the fucking kilo of coke. Obviously, she's not just going to be a travel agent.
Yeah.
There's not 8 episodes of fucking Sofia Vergara dressing up to go to work as a travel agent. Like, I bet you there's something more here.
Yep.
She's lying to this person right now.
Yep.
And then she starts fucking beating people with baseball bats and starts fucking getting in and just like, wow. And then it ends like the first episode, whatever. I was so impressed.
The show is really good.
I don't know why I was. I don't know why I was hesitant. I was like I love watching Sofia Vergara on America's Got Talent and Modern Family and all that. So I don't know if I was just jaded. Like, can she pull this off? I just see the character who she is, and she's like bubbly and all that. But man,
she's doing
she's
good. She's
badass.
doing a good job.
No, I'm so impressed.
Yeah.
I'm not impressed with me that it took me this long to watch it. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
you didn't even recommend it to me. What's
It's
up with
funny
you?
Because last week, remember you asked me like, you said like what shows? I said I can't even remember what did we watch, but that was what we watched. So I didn't even remember about it.
All right, well, I had that.
But yeah, it's good. Yeah.
I don't even know if you could get this on YouTube. This would be a reason to get YouTube Premium, and this would be the last thing I would say about TV. Maybe the whole show. We've been here too long. Is one of my favorite shows to watch is Hard Knocks. Do you know what Hard Knocks is?
No.
So it's they've done 24/7 versions of this, like for boxers and hockey teams or whatever. But Hard Knocks is the behind the scenes NFL training camp footage.
Oh.
This year they do it in the middle of the season. So they did the Dolphins for like the last half of the season. And each week they kind of show you behind the scenes from each week. It's totally uncut with all the swearing, with all the injuries. Like you really learn who these people are. Like it's like the Drive to Survive type of thing for football. It's been on for a few years on HBO. It's uncut. So we have this DAZN. So we watched it this year with my team. And then we go, well, we still got it. Let's watch at the beginning of the year. So it's famous for just being in training camp. And so you see, that's where all the action is. And football teams go from being like with like just over 80 people invited to camp to like a 53-man roster.
Yeah.
It's so different watching them fucking pick the team because like it's nothing like anything else. Like, because basketball players are like, they're picked and they play for the team. Like this whole G League thing, like, you know what I mean? Like you're cut. To watch them agonize, because they have to cut people who are good. Like it's so dramatic. Like I don't know if it's on YouTube or if you can watch it, but I can't explain watching a football team go from trying to cut 80 people to 53 and these men talking to other men, like the amount we can't, like, it's just, I hate doing this. And then how they accept it, how they do it, how they strive to be on this. And then the camaraderie of them just actually being on that 53 team roster. Like you really go through war.
Damn.
But to watch how you show me that list, right? Like of our work. And so I just finished watching that. So they have a list like that on their board with all their guys. Okay, this is our top quarterback. Okay, this guy, these 4 guys are fighting it out to be 2. Maybe we got 3. There's a practice roster where 16 guys will get $15,000 a week to be like. And so, okay, this guy, and we love them all. We love their dad. We love their mom. We love their kids. This guy fucking threw too many interceptions. This guy, like, you have to start breaking them down. They get breaking down to commodities. You know what I mean? Like, this guy's got all the talent in the world, but he fucking doesn't try. This little guy over here tries. Like, we should have a poster of him trying, but he just doesn't have the fucking physical tools.
Damn.
And how do I preach? We just need you to try and do all that. And then you all are watching this and we cut the guy because he can't jump as high as the next, you know what I mean? Or whatever it is.
God damn.
And so it's real dramatic. Like it's the opposite of 90 Day Fiance. Like you know what I mean? And so I just got caught up in watching it. Like,
okay, what is it called?
It's called Hard Knocks, and it's an HBO show. It's a series. And so, like I said, like the one I watched with the Dolphins, it's in the middle of the season, so but you see like how the losses affect them, how like you can't get higher than those. I don't know. I just really enjoyed it. So
nice.
Yeah, I don't know where you would find it, but you could just imagine trying to cut a 53-man roster.
That would be hard.
And you need them all, right? And then you don't want to lose them to your rivals, like because they could go. But these are all like the kind of lower level guys. But it's such a big number. Like it's just hard to fucking cut. Like, you know, man,
Yeah.
it's really interesting process to watch.
Maybe I should be a football coach.
You would like it. So you saw the list you showed at our work, right?
Yeah.
What if none of that was guaranteed? Like we have a right as workers, you know what I mean, and all that, right? But so that's a contract we've entered into. They're all just trying out. You know what I mean? Like some of them are like on like multi-million-dollar signing bonuses,
Mhm.
right? And some of them are all fucking like just trying to make the team or the practice squad just to get enough.
Mhm.
And then you see these guys like talking to their brother in jail, like giving them all
Oh,
motivation,
man.
like just fucking like all this stuff. Like,
Yeah, I'm trying out for the Dolphins.
yeah, I'm just like, don't let this opportunity, bro. I've done all the bad mistakes for fucking hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Don't fuck this up. Just go.
Then he gets cut.
Sometimes they do.
God
And then
damn.
you're broken. You're like, you fucking, what's this guy gonna do? So we're watching back one. So we're watching like the 2022 season of the fucking Detroit Lions. And so we're like instantly can find out what happened to these people.
Yeah.
And this guy, whew, he's on the Washington team. Okay, God, that guy is playing for Dallas now. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we know some of them are all right, but we don't know if we really don't. And so yeah, man, you'd see some shit like whatever. It's riveting TV. If you can ever get into it, it's riveting TV.
All right.
But you won't.
I don't know where
You
to
won't.
find it.
You won't. Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah.
It's on. Yeah, it's you. We had to get the zone.
Yeah. I'm not getting the zone for that. $35 a month?
No commercials.
That's true, huh?
I think we did enough today. I don't know,
Yep.
bro.
I want to thank everybody for listening to the Work Related Podcast.
We are sober as judges.
Yes.
We're related by work. Well, we're not sober on Twitter. How can you be sober on
Sipping
Twitter?
our water.
Fucking sipping. I'm getting out of here. I got
Do you
fucking
have
things to
water in
drink.
there? Do you actually have water in there, Jay?
We'll never know. Thanks, everybody.